Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're giving you guys a quick live talking about Sistas Season 5, Episode 15. Listen, it's been another crazy episode. I'm not going to lie to you, the setup is mad. This particular episode, we saw Karen and Zack, and somebody set them up. And I'm not inclined not to believe. I'm inclined to believe. I'm inclined to believe that Karen could very much be aware and a part of this setup because everything about it just felt too smooth. She probably wasn't a part of it, but it felt like that. I mean, there was just way too many things that she was doing in that end scene. Unfortunately, the clips don't have any audio today. For some reason, it seems to be blocking my audio. But we'll still show you some of the scenes and what's happening, and you can read into it. But that end scene with Zack and Karen, where he comes in, he just wants to sign the papers, and she forces him into the room to talk, to sign the papers, and then when he comes out, then for her to open her arms and like come and get a hug. Like, you were doing way too much. I was not feeling it. I was not about it. I didn't like it. And so, to be honest, I was like, what's going on here? And then you get the picture at the very end, and you see how, obviously, you see at the very end how, as Fatima sees a picture of them supposedly kissing, which really is a Bend It Like Beckham moment, where it's the angle that looks like they're kissing, but the reality is she kissed him on the cheek. But it was just, everything about it just felt forced. It didn't need to happen. It didn't need to go the way it did. It didn't need to be that way. Karen didn't need to do all of that she did. So we're gonna break down this episode. Won't be for here too long. We're going to break down this whole episode. We're going to talk a little bit about Sistas and talk about, obviously, the episode 5. We're going to break it all the way down because there's a lot that was going on in the thick of this actual episode. First of all, I want to talk about Danny and Cowboy, because I don't know what's going on, but we're rejecting proposals right now. Okay, we're rejecting proposals right now, right? Before we go any further, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you guys. If you're a returnee, you already know what the motto is. You got the minerals. And stay hydrated, because the streets out there are definitely hot. Okay, listen, if you watch the show and you want to have your say, you want to join the live, I'm going to put a link in the chat. You can join us up on here and come and have your say. All right, come and give us your opinions on what the episode was having and what it was given. But let's break it down from the very beginning. Let's talk straight about Danny and talk as well about Cowboy and their situation. Now, again, there will be no audio, unfortunately, but you can get the gist of the scenario, and I'll explain what's actually happening. All right, so this is this moment here where Danny and old boy are talking, and as they're talking, she realizes that, obviously, she doesn't want to marry him, right? She doesn't want to marry him, and he decides to propose to her. And I'm confused as to why he chose that moment to propose to her. It very much felt like, when your girlfriend's about to leave and you just say, like, I will marry you now. It felt like that moment. Now, Danny isn't going anywhere per se right now, but it just felt like it was a wrong time and wrong season. You know yourself that you don't even really know where you stand, because you can easily say to her, I don't mind going back to my ex. Well, I'll be a fool to go back to my ex-girlfriend. Like, why would you want to go back to your ex? And then why would you make that even a statement if you're then going to propose to Danny? Then there's no point proposing to Danny, because how can I propose to you? Say, and what he said was, oh, you know what? My ex loves me. Maybe I should, and he didn't say in a mean way. It wasn't the tone that was mean or anything like that. It's just the fact that it is manipulative. You telling her that my ex loves me. Do you love me? Like, I mean, that's why I wanted to propose to her. That's why I wanted to marry her. Well, if that's the reason why are you proposing to Danny right now? If you believe your ex loves you and that's where you want to be, go there. The reality is, you don't love your ex. You love Danny. You want Danny to love you. You want Danny to like you, right? You want Danny to give you that affection, right? but she's not going to give it to you, right? Because she also is emotionally unavailable. And so for her, she will not allow herself to be happy in a situation, because every time she gets close to being intimate with someone on a deeper level, she runs away. And she runs away because she can't handle intimacy on that level. She needs healing, right? She doesn't trust nobody to that extent to allow somebody in that deeply into her life, right? Cowboy is there, he's the deepest he's got. But the reality is, we've been here for the 5 seasons and we still ain't got past some of these points. To the point where later on in the episode where he said, like, do you want to stay? She's like, you can do what you want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you should go anywhere, but he stays in the bed, he stays in the thing. And then obviously in the morning, she looks like she's about to dip out and slink out of the house, right? Moving like Mandem. Danny moves like Mandem, because that's what Mandem be doing to their gal. Trying to slip out, not trying to have a conversation, don't want to discuss the issues of last night, dipping out. That's what she did. But again, the reality is, if you love Danny and you care about her, I mean, you proposing, weren't it? Because you can't then use your ex as a situation. You cannot use your ex as a point of then saying, and then saying, oh, I love you and I care about you, and you know what do I need to do to show you that, and I'm willing to do anything. And it's like, she said to him, look, I'll be honest with you, don't worry about it, sweetheart, don't worry about it, like, that's not what she's here for. She said, look, don't worry about it, sweetheart. This is him on the floor. Let me show that just get. He's like, I'll do anything for you. And she's like, listen, don't worry about that, sweetheart. The issue here is that, look, my heart is not with you. And that's when I said, bro, you need to quit. My heart is not even her heart is not even with you, sir. Her heart's not even with you. And so she said, you haven't got me because you haven't got my heart. Reality check, bro. She ain't gonna give you her heart. She has never given you her heart. That is the reality. Yes, they've played house. Yes, they've loved each other. Yes, they've cared about one another. But the reality is, she's never given you her heart, and she hasn't given it to anybody we've seen in the last 5 seasons, because that's Danny's MO. Danny's MO is, you know what, knock him out the park, great sex, get a little bit close, and when you get too close, we have to fire you. Because you gonna have me vulnerable and naked and emotionally present in these moments, and have me really thinking about, painful experiences when I have been vulnerable and allowed myself to be free and open to a point where someone could hurt me. So at this conjuncture, in reality, she doesn't want to give you that vulnerability. She doesn't want to marry you. She doesn't want to give you that vulnerability. She's happy where she stands right now. Right? She's happy where he stands. She doesn't want to see an improvement. Until Danny heals herself, until Danny gets the healing that she needs, she can't give Preston 100%. And Preston, the fact that you keep going after Danny continuously in the last 5 seasons or so, tells me that you also don't have your own value in check. You also don't realize as well that if she's never been emotionally available, then the reality is, if she's never been emotionally available, then the reality is this: you are not emotionally available if you keep chasing after her. If you keep going after her, if you keep chasing after her, if you keep on trying to make her yours when she's letting you know clearly she's not available emotionally, then there's something wrong with you. You want to do the most for her, but you're not clocking the scene right now. She hasn't got the capacity to do so. All right, let's move on. Cool. So, talking obviously about couples, obviously talking about Sabrina and old boy. Yeah, do you know what? You're right. Danny's gonna probably go out of Q, which is just nuts. Because again, how does information hasn't reached Danny by now in terms of who the guy is that was trying to move into the house? The fact that his name is Q, did he change his name all of a sudden? Like, Yo, what kind of description did they give him? Like, I'm expecting that there would have been descriptions and everything, and her antenna would have been up. But again, again, when you deep it, you see Q talking to Danny. What kind of man is Q? Q's got the bad boy edge, the bad boy persona, got the thrill seekers kind of energy. He doesn't take no for an answer. Like, he's got the bad boy persona. And so again, you see Danny in a position where you're like, Danny, this is not the guy for you. You're gonna give yourself to a guy who's not even really for you. Danny is a strong character who will tell the truth, but the reality is she doesn't tell the truth to herself. She needs it. She needs it. Okay, she needs it. All right, cool. Now obviously talking about old boy Sabrina and Maurice situation. Look, it's a deep situation. I won't spend too much time on this. It's a deep situation because, Maurice is in prison, Sabrina's out. It costs millions to get Sabrina out. Like, that's how mad it was. It cost millions. So to get Maurice out is gonna be very, very difficult. But I think what's really interesting about the dynamic of this situation, sorry about that, the dynamic of the situation is how obviously Q managed to play Maurice, and Maurice kept on giving him chance after chance after chance after chance, kept on giving chances. And old boy was telling him like Maurice, no, like Q is a bad egg, let it go. But no, Maurice wouldn't listen. Maurice will keep going back, right? Like, so it's a madness, right? But then obviously now Sabrina's out, and obviously the prosecutor was trying to get Maurice to fold on Sabrina, which is not going to happen. We can see that now. But being in prison while the other person's out can, that can make you think some things, that can make you feel some way. And so I know that Maurice was obviously talking about you. Someone put it in the chat. You two still bumping cats, and it's like you two are back here again, Sabrina. You're back here again, full circle, to the point where actually the last episode, what's his name? What's his name? Begins with a B. He came round whilst Sabrina was with. Why is his name going out of my head as well? His name's going out of my head as well. But yeah, while Sabrina was with this guy here, which I'll show you a clip in a second or two, her African lover came round to check up on her, right? And she's apologizing, saying, so she's thanking him, saying, I appreciate, I really appreciate how, you kept your cool and not did anything. I was like, B, what was he gonna do? Every fight he's been in, he's lost. Every fight he's been in, he's lost. What's he gonna do? Every fight he's been in, old boy has spun around. Oh, he's not a fighter. Okay, he's not gonna protect you at any given state. All right, he's not gonna do that to you. He's not gonna be able to hold it down for you. This is not the kind of guy for you, Sabrina. You like a rough neck, rough nigga around the neck. You like that kind of. You look like you like you look like you like the men that are aggressive, and we've seen that in your past. So yeah, but yeah, you're right. Maurice should learn his lesson, because Maurice just needs to know that, brother, you can't try to save them all. And that's what actually, in a sense, what Maurice was trying to do. He was trying to save them, and I'm like, bro, these ones can't be saved, bro. You needed to let it go, to the point where old boy moved in. It's like, bro, again, if you try to save some people who don't deserve to be saved, this happens. Q weren't worth to be saved. Not the extra stuff that Maurice was doing anyway. And he kept on using good sex about that. Like, that boy is a bisexual, and he's a freak, but he's got no loyalty. That boy will sex women and sex men. Like, yo, he is got no loyalty at all. That boy will do everybody and anybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah. No. That's a madness. That's a madness. Next scene. Okay. This scene here, okay. I wish we had audio, it would have been so much better, but we don't, so we have to work with it. But this scene here, where obviously Gary comes in the room and says, "Oh, I heard you speaking. I thought you were talking to someone. I thought you was alone, but then I heard you speaking to somebody." Right? That's the old Gary we know. That's the Gary we know. The controlling Gary is always there, waiting for an opportunity to show his ugly head. He needs therapy. He needs to go and actually work on himself. He don't need to be in a relationship with Andy, right? But Andy gonna keep on letting him in, okay? Right? She gonna keep on breaking her own rules and taking this guy in. Now she said, "I was oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that here today." I was like, "Babe, you ain't doing what today? You, the fact that you're even in a relationship with him, or the fact that you're even engaging with him, tells me you're gonna do something today." And I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about doing what kind of whatever you're doing, prerequisite or the shadow kind of behavior before relationship, right? I'm like, what the hell's going on? What is going on? Gary started off with the whole, "Yeah, I heard you with someone else. Who are you talking to?" And you say you're not gonna do that today. Okay, it's not hot. It's not hot. Don't worry. Sit there. You continue to sit there and see if you don't fall into the web of Gary. You're even in an apartment that he even bought you. Listen, darling, before you know it, you're in the trap. Before you know it, you're in the trap and you're stuck, but you're still playing with the D. The toxic D is a very dangerous thing. When someone's toxic and got good D, it's magnified the more. The magnitude of the pleasures are enthralling, and they are encapsulating, and they are humongous. They're gigantus. Okay, they are dangerous. Okay, the platitude of pleasure you're gonna feel is gonna be mad. How is it in 5 seasons you still haven't learned your lesson? You're still messing with the enemy. You're slipping with a snake, and then you wonder why the snake gonna strangle you in the middle of middle of the night. Why wouldn't it? It's a snake, and you put in your bed and you sleep with it, and you can close your eyes, darling. There's somebody who that hit you. There's no way you're gonna be just accepting this behavior. 5 seasons, all 5 seasons. When will you learn, Andy? When will you give in? When will you suffice? And the thing is, obviously, the scene here, as you can see, sacrificial lamb. But as you can see, Hayden's obviously talking to Gary, and Gary's explaining to him, saying that, look, he thinks that Andy has told Robin about the deal. The truth is, Robin already knows about the deal. He about to find some way to get out of it. So Gary's not about to get what he wants. But Hayden's so much preoccupied with this new girl. And listen, that girl is bad. Yo, that girl is bad. She a baddie. She a bad chick. Oh my day, she a baddie. I can't lie to you. She fine. And that kind of, listen, Lord, don't let me have any woman set me up like that, because that woman is fine. My heart will be broken, not because you set me up. My heart will be broken that you don't even really care about me. That's why my heart will be broken. Fine ass girl like that, right? That's a fine girl like that. You need to help. No. Fine girl like that. You dumb. No, that girl. I want to joke around and say set me up, but I don't. I don't want to talk that into my life. You understand? Because I cherish my life. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean. If I was a character in a play, I want her to set me up. Okay? But in my real life, don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it, because you're gonna hurt me. Not because you set me up, but because the fact that I know that you're not really mine. That's gonna hurt the more. You know what I mean? That's gonna hurt the more. Thought I collected a fine fame, a big ass fish. Okay? You know what I mean? So yeah, like, you gonna end up moving made. Okay? All right. So yeah, Hayden doesn't know what's coming his way, but as Devera Hicks said, I believe as well, she will fall in love. She'll be like, and if I ever fall in love again. You know what I mean? Because she's boasting a little bit too much. She's doing a bit too much. She's been a bit too excitable, a bit too, I've got this, da, da, da. You can just kind of see that pride coming before a fall. You know what I'm saying? But Hayden looks like he's fully invested in that situation. He's so excited to have this fine ass woman, liking him, lipsing him, kissing him. His trust is going to be on zero after this. When he finds out, that this girl was actually playing him, his trust level is going to be zero for women. This boy will be a bad boy. This is the kind of guy that turns villainous, because you know what? He can't trust women after that again. Never. You mean someone could play me and act and pretend as if they like me? Whoa. You know what I mean? They ain't never gonna do that again. Okay, they gonna feel some type of way. All right, so yeah, that situation, I don't know. Look at this. Now, if you notice something, her towel is white, his shirt is white. These two colors of white represent, well, I said two colors of white, but white normally represents innocence and purity. Now, there's nothing pure about her behavior, but I think that's trying to say something. I think that's trying to tell us something. Have you noticed Hayden will wear a suit normally in any scene that he's in? He's normally got his suit jacket on. The fact that he in this particular scene has his jacket off and just a white shirt and she has a white towel on, they may fall in love later on. Yeah, they may fall in love later on. Because they're both wearing white and it's trying to say innocence. So her innocence and his innocence could be that, you know what, they never knew they were going to fall this way. I mean, he liked her, of course, but he never knew who she was. He's ignorant to that. And then her knowing what she's about, her innocence comes from the fact that she didn't even realize that she's going to end up falling in love, potentially. That's potentially why they're both wearing white. Just saying. Just something to pay attention to. Doesn't mean it's actually going to happen, but something to pay attention to. Do you know what I mean? Because colors mean a lot. And they say a lot as well. Oh, sorry, wrong clip. So this is obviously before Zack goes to visits Karen. Her and Fatima have a him and Fatima have a conversation. You know, it's problematic. Okay, all right. Because at this point in time, she's like, do you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind. Go and see Karen. Go and get it signed. I trust you. They set us up with this whole "I big boy trust you." For this to happen, it's like, what do you mean? I put all my trust in you, and you broke it by going to kiss Karen. Of course, he didn't kiss Karen, but it's gonna look that way. Like, I put my trust in you. I decided to put my guards down, and you did this to me. Even if she believes the fact that he didn't do it, even if she believes the fact that that he didn't actually kiss her, she will still have the lingering thought in the back of her mind. It's too difficult. It's very difficult not to feel that way. You know what I mean? You're gonna definitely feel like, you know what? I'm gonna get played again if I trust you once more again. You hear me? So she gonna feel like she gonna feel like, how can I trust you? Even if it turns out, like I said, even if it turns out that it was a lie, the literal trust is going to be broken. It's ridiculous, right? Zack. If it is Karen plotting, then you know that Karen has not forgiven them and has not forgiven him. Because if it is Karen, then you have to say to yourself, why would you be motivated to do that when you said you're after writing a letter, you feel better, etc., etc. You feel that the life that Fatima has should be your life. But the reality is, you weren't even the same woman. You weren't even the same woman that Fatima was. You weren't building him up the way. You were tearing him down. And therefore, he was not inspired to do what he needed to do. Also, Fatima presented an opportunity which has not been presented to Zack through you, Karen. And so it's a different dynamic, a different relationship. You know what I mean? The reality is, the reality is that you have to play the game differently. Zack should have played the game differently. He should have been very much aware that, you know what, I can't just move anyhow. And the reality is, when he went with Karen and when she went into the room, that was the first mistake. I'm talking to ahead of the show because he ain't got there just yet. But yeah, he needed to have done better and learn from his the fact that people will try to take him out of the game. This is Q here talking to Danny, but let me go back to obviously this situation here, because some of you are making some good points about this. because obviously Andy is now trying to date or trying to do whatever she's doing with Gary. I know that obviously, um, you know, I know that obviously she wanted to get the information um to what's his name? Sorry, to Robin, and but now she's now found herself in a situation where Gary suspects her. The biggest issue is now that information won't be flowing the same way it used to. Also, her life's in danger because Gary finding out that you betrayed him is a big L. That's crazy. He ain't gonna forgive that. He ain't gonna let that go. If he's moving mad before, what do you think he's gonna move again? Huh? Who said they won't move again? You know, madness in the dunya. Jasmine said, I don't understand the Q and Danny thing. Danny met Q before the club. Is it? I don't remember. Did she meet? How did she meet him? Because Q was with Maurice. They don't have that same friendship in that respect. So how did she meet him? I can't remember. If that was that case, then maybe that's a continuity area. They didn't maybe realize that. I don't know why Danny is with the Q situation. I don't know why Danny. Um, I don't know why Danny is even trying to go after Q, or sorry, even allowing Q. Um, you know. Oh, okay. Season one, when all the girls went to a gay club. How did she forget then? How did she forget? I don't know. Uh, I don't know how she remembered that. Um, yeah, we're going to talk about that. That's real. Um, but the Danny situation, yeah, again, with Q, it's like, wait, what is it that you're liking about Q? What is it that Q's presenting? And I think that just speaks largely to Danny and her actual, um, failure to really deep that emotionally she's unavailable. And because she's unavailable, she finds herself dealing with the same kind of men. This guy here, he's not offering anything. Ankle monitor on his leg, everything like that. You want to even entertain him, and your no is not really a no. Your no, I can't even say a no is not a no. Danny's no is serious, but he wants to be persistent. She needs to literally shut it down though, because she needs to let him know that, listen, nothing's ever gonna happen. I'm not going on a date with you. I'm not going to drink with you. I'm not going to play with you. I'm not going to do anything. But she has gone on those things. She has gone a little, excursion for drinking with him. And that is the biggest problem, right? And like I said, Q is got ankle monitor on his leg. He's not even like this is not even. It's not even good prospectus. It's not even good prospectus. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not even good prospectus. You know what I mean? Not good prospectus. It's not even good future. And you're entertaining it again. It's like, Danny, where are your standards? Somebody needs to give you some truth this time, because usually you're the truth serum, but I think you need some of it yourself. All right, bro. It's political. Political. Oh, that's next week's episode. Sorry. All right, cool. So let's talk a little bit about this situation, right, with Karen and old boy, right? I don't think Zack's a baby daddy. I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, so I don't think it's him. In all reality, what I do think though, is that with the Zack situation with Karen, this setup was mad. Okay, because why is she opening her arms to say come in for the hug? That's some bullcrap. I feel like Belinda and Karen probably met and had a discussion, because why did she need to hug and kiss him? I just don't get it. Like, I know that she's changed over and turned a new leaf, but I'm like, why did you need to do it? Why? What was the purpose of you hugging him and kissing him on the cheek? Why? Why? Why were you doing that? And that's why I said it doesn't make sense. Like, I get that you had a transformation, but what, hug and a kiss? And also as well, when you took him back to the room. It's given you knew that someone will take a photo. It's given. All right. Karen ain't letting go. So Karen's energy of, oh, I've changed and I've learned to let go and I'm better now for it. Da, 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 da. Sis, you ain't. This must have been what she was talking about when she was talking to Andy, saying that, what, she hasn't finished. This must have been what she was talking about, right? This is her plan to get him back. Come on, babe. Come on, babe. Come on. You got to do better than that. Okay? Leave Zack alone. Leave him alone. It's the 5th season. Leave his ass alone. You don't need him anymore. You're now got your baby. You got Aaron, like you said. So there's no way that what, this is something that you need to be engaged in. So for me, I don't get it. Like I'm not. No, we're not gonna do that, right? We're not gonna do that. And then this scene here, and obviously we know about Fatima's friends, Angela and Belinda, and we know how Belinda feels about Zack. And this scene, that scene there, that looks like the setup. That looks like the setup. Right? That looks like the setup. You know what I mean? Perfect photo right next to them. And my thing is, look how close it is. You telling me they didn't see the photo? Telling me they didn't see the camera? That someone's pointing their damn camera in your face? Excuse me? How you not see the camera being in your face when the camera was so close? Nah, man. That's what I said. It smells set up, but I don't know how he missed the phone because it's super clear, super close. It don't make no sense. So I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that what, Zack and Fatima make this show very much more interesting, and I appreciate. Fatima gonna beat him up. She gonna beat his ass and beat Karen too. She don't be careful. All right. Because it's a way too much. It's way too much. Look at now the boys joining. Listen, I've done. I've finished, boys. You took too long. I'm about to jump off. I'm gonna take a quick nap before Married at First Sight. You lot took way too long, Trey. Join me for Married at First Sight. Listen, we're gonna be at Married at First Sight, guys. In about 20 minutes or so, we're gonna be at Married at First Sight. We're gonna talk more. I want to keep the review a bit shorter today because of time and everything. But we're gonna do Married at First Sight in about 20 minutes time. So make sure you tune in for that. I see you guys are talking about this episode. If you haven't joined us already, listen. If you haven't joined the crew already, we are on. Okay, we've got our little situation going on Patreon and Discord. So listen, make sure you guys join us. Okay, join our Patreon and you can join the Discord. Okay, Little Black Book 91. And you can continue the conversation over there and have more talks as well. So make sure you join the Patreon as well, right? So you can have more talks about this show. I see you guys were warming up. You get me? But yeah, Zack and Fatima are literally carrying the show. Can't lie to you. Zack and Fatima are literally carrying the show. And it's because the other characters haven't had no development and they're monotonous. It's like it's the same thing again. Yeah. So like, share, subscribe, guys. Click on that bell button. We'll be back for Married at First Sight. I'm sure Trey will join us as well for that. Like, share, subscribe, guys. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. We'll see you guys in a few minutes time for Married at First Sight. Make sure you jump over to that